All right. Hey, what's going on? My name is Greg Archbald. I'm the founder of Greasebook, and I received a few questions that were forwarded here, and I'm just going to dive right in and I guess go through this quick interview online. So, first question: what made me start my own business? I think first it was the first thing that got me to start my own business was to have complete freedom, freedom from boss, freedom from just about everything. But as the business continues to grow, and I think I've grown and developed as well, it's more about really developing and building something really great here in the oil and gas industry. So that's kind of what keeps me fired up and keeps me moving forward. So I think what you find once you get that freedom, it's not exactly everything that you wanted. It's kind of off to the next thing. So it's always good to have a point on the horizon that you're working for. So tell us more about Greasebook. So Greasebook is essentially an app for oil and gas operators and their pumpers. Most people are surprised to learn that a lot of oil and gas companies still run their daily operations via pen and paper. And we're not talking about, when I say oil and gas, it's not the Exxon Mobils and Conocos of the world. It's nothing like that. There are literally thousands of oil and gas companies with people working there with maybe 5, 10, 20 people at these smaller shops, and just with like your friends work there, your people's uncles, moms, dads are geologists, petroleum engineers, and most people are surprised to learn that this even exists. But basically, they're responsible for 90% of all wells drilled in the United States, and so essentially, they've got. If you've ever seen these pump jacks pumping off the side of the highway in the movies, or maybe you've got some close to your house or your work, depending where you are in the country. They've got guys that drive around in pickup trucks known as pumpers, which are essentially mechanics, and they check out each one of these sites, and they track the oil, gas, and water information. And they used to track all this stuff via pen and paper in a small book they carried with them, better known in some pumper circles as a Greasebook. But now we give them an app. They import all their information, and basically you, as an owner of one of these small oil and gas companies, can see a real-time status of any one of your production properties. So it's really cool. What's my advocacy? I don't know quite what that question means. I'm an advocate for production reports that don't suck. So anyway, that's one of our Greasebook taglines. Did I encounter any difficulties in starting up a business? The answer is most definitely yes. A lot of sleepless nights, not due to working very hard, but due to worrying that I was going to make good on my word. I think looking back on things, knowing what I know now, obviously hindsight's 20/20, but had I played this game perfectly and had I done everything right and had made any mistakes, I would have thought that I sort of had the golden touch. And I've seen entrepreneurs who really hit it out of the park the first time around become wildly successful. And they come to believe that they really think they're infallible and that they don't make mistakes and it's impossible for them to lose. And they ante up on their second go round, and I've seen them lose it and even lose that first company that they built. So, in the long run, I think it's good to trip up every once in a while. I think it's humbling. I think it makes you smarter and sharper, and it helps you appreciate what you have. So I definitely had difficulty starting my business, but all in all, I think they serve a purpose. So let's see here. If so, how did I overcome those difficulties? Oh, okay. Sort of second part of that question. Just keep pushing through. It was very uncomfortable, but what I found in my very long 33 years of life is that the times that I'm most uncomfortable and I continue to push through have the biggest rewards. So sort of seek that discomfort. I think it really pays off. What's the best way to convince a client to choose your service? The best thing I know is to include a solid risk reversal policy in your sales copy or in your pitch. So basically, what that means is that at any point in time, if the client isn't is excited about the product or doesn't think it does what you said it was going to do, or doesn't live up to the client's expectations, within 30 days or 60 days, they can return it for a full money-back guarantee. And that keeps the pressure off the table. It keeps your client satisfied, and comfortable knowing that they can get their money back, and it just helps both you and your client work towards a common goal of making the service or product work for them. And I really think it relieves a lot of the pressure in the situation, keeps everybody very, very happy and on track. Let's see here, what else? Who and what are your influences? Current influencer right now is Andrew Warner. He's the host of Mixergy, which is a well-known podcast out of San Francisco. You got to check him out. I live in Oklahoma City, and it's not necessarily a tech hub. It's an oil and gas hub for sure, but not a tech hub like in Austin, Texas, or San Francisco. So Andrew interviews all sorts of techpreneurs, and I get really nice exposure to these guys that I might not get otherwise. He interviews all types of businesses, but if you're interested in starting your own business, or you just want to, have the presence or feel like you're circulating with other entrepreneurs, you should really check out that podcast. So thank you very much, Andrew, if you're listening. What else we got? What are the major milestones or achievements of Greasebook? First one was when I received an email notifying us that our first client's credit card had successfully paid and came through. And it wasn't a lot of money, but it was enough to validate our idea and let us know that we were on the right track. So that was very exciting. I think that's probably the most exciting one, really. Do you have plans for global expansion? Right now, we're focused on the lower 48 in the United States. The United States is very unique in that it's all its oil and gas is privatized. So, like the small companies I was telling you about can really produce and extract oil. It's really cool. Not too many other countries in the world that you can do that. I've seen and kept an eye on Mexico. They're close, and a mí me gusta hablar español. I like to speak Spanish, and I know Spanish, and I think there's a lot of potential in that market. So due to their proximity, I'll keep an eye on them. But for right now, it's all U.S. based. So what else we got here? What are your upcoming plans or projects? I don't want to let any cats out of the bag just yet. We're always working on something. I'm excited. I got a couple projects under wraps, and we're not quite ready to release them. But when we are, be sure to know about it. So, any advice to millennial entrepreneurs? Any advice? I'd say to go out and get a job, and start looking around at your place where of work and try to find all the processes that are broken. And you're going to be amazed at how many processes are absolutely broken that either need to be eliminated or automated. It'll blow your mind, really. Start asking maybe some of your friends that are working in some similar companies like you to see if they have the same issues. And if you start to see a pattern, maybe you could start to use your nights and your weekends to develop a solution for this issue. And don't quit your job quite yet, but try to get either your company or your friend's company to beta this product. After you got it rigged up, sell it to your company, sell it to your friend's company, and carry on. So it'll be tough because all your friends will be dating and partying and stuff like that when you're hard at work. But I promise, in the long run, it's really worth the effort. So if I could, if I could say one last thing, and I see it time and time again, is that you have to look out for number one. You have to look out for yourself. Don't ever put your future or your stability or anything like that in the hands of somebody else. The wrong word to the wrong person, a slight slip up could really quickly dissolve anything you built at another company. And I know starting a business isn't for everybody, but I know a lot of people think, hey, isn't that risky? It's really, really putting your future at risk. And I think the opposite. I think, laying your future in the hands of somebody else is the riskiest thing you could ever do. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for you entrepreneurs and millennial entrepreneurs. And best of luck to you guys. It's a hard road, but it's you learn something new all the time. And if you want to live an engaged life and always learning new stuff, I can't find a better way to do it than opening up your own business. So best of luck to you guys. Take care. All right.